Hey, what is going on, Geminis? Butch Show here. I'm going to do your March monthly read. It is from now to the end of March. It is a general read, so it may not resonate with everyone. It is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and your Venus. For all your cross watchers, roles can be reversed. Always feel free to comment down below. A little different of a spot right now. Sorry with the shadows and sounds probably a little bit off. My little one, she's sick, so I let her sleep in my bed tonight. And my room, my office are all one big spot, so we're going to have to make do. With all that being said, let's get it. Universe. What message do we have for Gemini? For March 2025. All right. Yeah, this table doesn't have anything, so it's literally scrapey. It sounds. It's driving me nuts. Probably driving you nuts, so I apologize. But let's get into it. So, all right. So the first thing I'm seeing is I feel like this is, this is a connection that I feel like is already going. But like I said, I mean, it is for March. So, I mean, for some of you, this may be someone you already know. For others, this may be someone that's coming in. But I feel like, however it shakes up, I feel like huge change. I see a lot of big changes coming. I feel like this energetic alignment. And I do feel like there is what I'm seeing is it gets bad. It's bad to get better. It has to, I see it getting bad before it gets better, but I see the bad being necessary for it to get better. I see, with that Temperance Sagittarius energy, I feel like there's a balance coming. I feel like this, like Temperance, also known as like equilibrium, being balanced. I mean, I feel like this, like I said, this energetic alignment, like it has to fall apart to be able to be rebuilt. And that's exactly what I see. I mean, I see a foundation being built here, new inspiration. I feel like you and this person may have been in the outs, but I feel like it was like a necessary evil, like they say. I mean, with that Ace of Wands, I feel like new inspiration, a foundation being built. I feel like in this, what feels like a loss is the ultimate victory. With the Six of Wands. And we also have the Strength card, that Leo energy. So I feel like we're coming out on top, even though it doesn't feel like that, even though it's hard to see in the moment. You know, that old saying, it's darkest before the dawn. It's exactly what I feel like here. I mean, I feel like you don't see it coming. You don't see it yet, but you will. I mean, we have the Hangman seeing things in a different perspective. Like I said, I feel like with this person, there's always been this connection. You know, there's always been this feeling like you're connected to this person, but it didn't make sense in the beginning. Or somewhere in the middle, it didn't make sense. And I feel like there was a lot of overthinking. Because I feel like there is such a draw between the two of you, but sometimes when we get in the connection, it's like, how can I be drawn to this person when it doesn't seem to work? It doesn't seem to fit. Like a circle doesn't fit where a square is supposed to be, kind of thing. But I mean, like I said, it just makes me think of like when you see a house, like it's burnt down, but the foundation is solid. And the person, instead of, you know, just trying to fix, they just clear it and start over again. And that's what it's almost like what I see here is it's like this shift. This shift causes this alignment between the two of you. You know, this huge transformation. And this transformation allows us to move forward. And like I said, I mean, with that Chariot and the Death card, this huge transformation, you know, things not being what they seem, but being so much better. With that Chariot, like I said, forward movement. You know, I feel like during this falling out period is what I'm going to call it, because that's what I'm feeling. During this falling out period, I feel like there's some real honesty, and I feel like that real honesty is what's helping this actually excel. You know, I feel like we get to a point where all we have left is honesty, and once that honesty comes out, I feel like, you know, like I said, that's when things start clicking. That's when we start to feel connected. That's when this connection, the depth of this connection starts to be exposed. You know, finding not only this deep connection with this Lover's card, this Gemini energy, but we also find this friendship. You know, with three of Cups, and we also have the Three of Pentacles. So it's that power couple energy. Like I said, I feel like you come out on the other end so much stronger. You know, I feel like there's a huge win here. I feel like it, like I said, you don't see it yet, but you will. You know, feeling like you're finally on the same page, feeling like this person is finally showing up, finally putting in the work. Like I said, I mean, with the Queen of Swords, it's that very direct honesty. And I feel like that direct honesty sometimes can only come from for lack of a better word, a chaotic moment. You know, this person being on the same page and finally being able to see that. You know, this person showing up, putting in the work. You know, with that honesty, we're opening up that Eight of Swords in reverse. And opening up to a point where we finally start to gain that trust that we've always kind of been lacking in past connections. You know, sometimes in that chaotic moment, you know, I always call it, when I think of moments like that, I think of this beautiful chaos. And what I mean by that is something beautiful comes out of the chaos. And I feel like that's what we have here. You know, with this person, you know, we can finally let go. You know, you're both finally letting go of past things with that Devil card and feeling safe with each other, feeling comfortable in each other, feeling protected amongst yourselves. You know, we have that family card, and we have the King of Cups. You know, this is some real deep shit. You know, that King of Cups is that emotionally mature energy, and that family card finally getting to move forward. You know, I feel like finally getting on the same page with that Seven of Pentacles, like we've seen. You know, this person finally showing up and putting in the work, and you actually seeing it and feeling it. You know, we have the World card as well, so everything coming full circle. Like I said, I mean, it's exactly what I feel. I mean, when I think of that, I think of beautiful chaos, and that's exactly what it is. It's like sometimes we see the worst in each other in those chaotic moments, but not here. We're seeing the best in each other. We're getting the best from each other. You know, it's complete honesty, open communication, no bullshit, no half truths. Finally feeling you know, that this person is on board, and they're nurturing this connection, and they're giving it all they had. You know, with that star card, that Aquarius energy. You know, we have the Wheel of Fortune as well, so good fortune. I mean, it's all coming up roses. And like I said, you may not see it now, but you're going to see it. But I feel like I feel like there's a falling out period to a point. You know, I feel like I said, I mean, there's going to be this moment of chaos where you come out the other side stronger than ever. You know, this real moment, you know, this chaotic moment that sparks something. It sparks the truth. It sparks honesty. And I feel like that's when the connection, this deep connection, finally gets exposed. Like I said, it's what I'm feeling. I feel like this energetic alignment, like you're just on the same page. You're firing all cylinders with this person. You know, sometimes we meet people and we feel this connection toward them, but we may not see it because it's just, you know, for many reasons, some of which it's just we're not being exposed because we're not getting all the facts. It's almost like if you were to come to a situation and say you have half of a puzzle and this other person has the other half, now you lay down 3/4 of the pieces you have and they lay down half the pieces they have, you're not going to get the full picture because you're not all in. You're not both all in. But once all the pieces are on the table and we put it all together, you know, that's the thing too, is it's funny that I mentioned that because a puzzle is like beautiful chaos. You know, you open that box. If you ever done a puzzle, you open that box and it's just a bunch of small little pieces. It just looks like chaos. But as you start putting the pieces together, that's when you get the real image, and that's when you really get to see it all. I mean, I see a lot of things changing, but I feel like in a very, very positive direction. You know, like I said, that power couple, that, you know, that strong friendship. I mean, we have the Six of Wands is that victory. The Lover is that deep connection. I mean, we got a lot of major arcana here. I mean, we have, you know, we have the Emperor, you know, feeling very safe with each other, feeling very comfortable, feeling very, what's the word? Secure. And that's one thing that's hard to find in life, is a secure connection with someone. Someone that, you know, you're building that strong foundation with. But like I said, I mean, we have the Star, we have the Strength card, the Lover's card, the Chariot, the Death card. I mean, there's so many things going on here. The World card, the Devil, Temperance, the Hangman. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune. To kind of really sum it all up here. You know, sometimes even real connections can be disguised or submersed in so many other things that we can't really truly see it. And we don't get to see it until it's fully exposed. That's what I see here. I see something that's coming out that exposes it all, makes it all very clear. Now with this person, we have Aries, we have Sagittarius, we have Leo, we have Gemini, Aquarius, we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Capricorn. You know, in a perfect world, every real connection would just be completely exposed, and we'd see it right away, and we know right away, and we understand it right away. But since when have we been living in a perfect world? You know? Sometimes it takes time. Like I said, sometimes we're withholding the pieces. Sometimes, you know, you may not be the one withholding all the pieces. Maybe you put your half of the puzzle down and they only put half of theirs. You know, but like I said before, I feel like when we're born, it's almost like we're born with half a puzzle. And that other person, the person we were meant to find, they have the other half. And we don't get to see the big picture till we find them. You know, but it's about open communication. It's about being honest. It's about being, you know, truthful. And sometimes we have to dig through the mud to get to the treasure, you know. Sometimes you bring out that shovel. Sometimes you gotta dig for it. It's whether or not it's worth the dig. I mean, I think we've all been in a situation where we felt some kind of connection to someone, and it's not necessarily romantic. You know, just maybe you met someone and you feel this connection toward them, and you know that person ends up being your best friend. You know, I was fortunate enough that when I was 4, I met my best friend. He lived down the street from me, and you know, we had our first real job together. You know, we had our first apartment together. You know, we're still best friends. He's actually a Gemini. You know, most people that watch me know that already, but you know, we just always clicked. And we have this form of honesty with each other where we don't hold back. And no truth is too hard to talk about. And no, you know, we don't keep things from each other because that's what makes it work. But I knew when I met him that he'd be my best friend. You know, he's my best friend from the moment we met. I remember being outside, and I'm not young, okay? So a lot of people that watch this that won't remember this, but when I was a kid, we used to go to this place. It was called Outside. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, I remember my mom used to give me this big giant, you know, spoon. And it was like a metal spoon. And I remember I used to go out and I used to dig. We had like a kind of a dirt driveway. And I remember, because I lived out in the country and I still do, we had this big dirt driveway and I used to dig like roads and sometimes tunnels and stuff for my dinky cars. And I remember his dad came over one time and he was working with my dad. And he just sat down and we started playing. You know, and I remember I went in the house and I got him a spoon. And we always laugh about it because we, you know, we think back to like when we met, it was just 2 little boys with a spoon. That's what started everything. You know, we got along, we had the same imagination, you know, and we grew up together and we just stayed connected. And that's what I mean. I think we all have that person that we connect with. And sometimes the connection isn't clear. Sometimes we even have blurred lines. You know? Like I had this friend in high school, and she was a pretty girl, but we we dated for a little bit because I felt something, so felt some connection with her. But it never worked out because we just weren't on the same page. But we went back to being friends. It took a little bit. It was awkward for a little bit, but went back to being friends, and we still keep in touch once in a while, and that's where the lines get blurred. We confused it with some kind of romantic connection, but it was just a friendship. Sometimes we misinterpret it, but I'm glad that we became friends again, because I feel like it was one of those moments when we broke up too. It was kind of like awkward because I didn't want, I still enjoyed hanging out with her and I didn't want to lose that, but I knew I wasn't into her that way. It was really, really nice because we actually, when I told her, she was like, "Oh, good," because I was feeling the same thing. I was feeling like it's awkward being, we're not. It was just awkward. Like she said the same thing, and it was funny because that's how much of a connection we had, that we were both feeling the same way, but we both felt bad. We didn't want to hurt the other one, so But anyway, sometimes connections, we feel it and we don't understand it. Sometimes we don't even know. Like in this connection that I see, in front of me for you, it's like I feel like there's something going on, but we're not seeing it clearly because not all the pieces are on the table. Not yet, but they will be. Anyway, that's what I have for you. Be good. Take care. Stay safe.